So like every other restaurant company in America, Olive Garden is evolving its business to accommodate off-premises service. So what you'll see here is there is curbside pickup outside this Olive Garden in Orlando, Florida. But don't be fooled. Darden Restaurants is still committed to the hospitality that it provides through a full-service experience, especially dining in. I sat down with Darden CEO Rick Cardenas to talk about that commitment to hospitality and why Darden is all in on that full-service restaurant experience. 40 years at Darden, you've seen a lot of evolution in this company, obviously within the concepts that make up the portfolio. But what other evolution do you see from the time you started at Red Lobster to today that has really transformed this company?
You know, I think we're just a different organization in the size. We really had 2 brands. Mm-hmm. And, you know, now we have 10, but of the 2 that we had when I really started, there was only 1 left. And so the transformation had been the understanding that back when Clarence was here, realizing that scale really matters. Mm-hmm. And making that first big acquisition of Rare, which was a bet the company kind of acquisition that Clarence made. But it was a great deal for us because it gave us more scale and we kept building on that. You know, I think the evolution, you know, when I started in the business, there wasn't this category called fast casual.
Right.
There was casual dining, fine dining, and then fast food. And, you know, fast casual came in and found that, you know, maybe there's a little bit that we can do on the speed side. And so I think the evolution for us has been, okay, how do we think about making the food even better and amping up the service, right? Because there's got to be a reason people come to us versus something else. And we just have great food and we have the most attentive service that we can possibly have for the right value for our guests. And I think our value is better today than when I started.
Yeah. You've said before that full service is what Darden's going to stick with. This is what you guys do best, and that's what you want to stick with. But you mentioned fast casual, and obviously fast casual in a lot of ways, very adjacent to casual dining, especially in maybe hospitality, quality of food. I'm curious, why stick to your guns on full service?
It's what we know, you know, and you think about our organization, we're the biggest player in full service restaurants. We're at least twice as big as the next biggest competitor. And remember, I told you one of our biggest advantages is our scale.
Yeah.
The scale advantage is different when we're in another segment. The other thing is it's a very different operating model. Fast casual, fast food, very different operation than full service. We know full service. And, you know, we're a very large public company. And, you know, an investor would say, why do you need to be a fast casual? We can buy fast casual. So we think about it strategically too.
The rise in off-premises, I think, has been one of the reasons why a lot of folks have started to write the obituary for casual dining. And of course, there's been some high-profile bankruptcies, Red Lobster, TGI Fridays. Seeing the lack of performance from some other concepts and seeing the rise in delivery, drive-through, people jump to the conclusion, well, full service is dead. People don't want to go eat in a restaurant. Of course, COVID drove that narrative as well. Why is that wrong?
Well, it's wrong for a lot of reasons. People still want to connect. Mm-hmm. You know, they're busy. They've got a lot going on in their lives. Many people are working from home. They don't have as much interaction with people or with their friends. It might be more technology to do that. And so they always want to find time to spend with their family and friends. And what better place to do that than around a dining table in a restaurant where you don't have to do anything. Everything is done for you.
Off-premises has become obviously a big part of the restaurant's industry's success. And Olive Garden is such a great case study in how this has affected the business. You guys resisted delivery, third-party delivery especially, for a while, finally moved over in that direction. And you reported in your recent quarterly earnings that it was a big part, it was incremental to your sales. Tell me about that decision and how hard it is to make a decision that does change so much of the operation.
Olive Garden is such a great off-premise brand. Mm-hmm. Before COVID, we were in the high teens, going towards 20%. We were already testing curbside to go, but interestingly, consumers didn't want to pick it up at curbside. They wanted to come into the restaurant. Mm-hmm. But we were at the forefront of that before. Then COVID happened and we had to go curbside. And our teams rallied. And what I learned about our teams during COVID was they can do anything. We don't have to tell them what to do. They'll figure it out. And I cannot be more proud of Olive Garden and LongHorn, what they did during COVID to keep our company moving forward. And then what's interesting is we didn't jump in the delivery game back then, and a lot of other people did. We didn't think it was right for us for a lot of reasons that we've talked about publicly. And we kept talking about those reasons publicly, but we kept growing our to-go business without that. You know, Olive Garden had gotten into the mid-20s in to-go. LongHorn had doubled their to-go business. Cheddar's didn't have really a whole lot of to-go business, and they went a lot higher. But we knew that there was a consumer that we weren't reaching that didn't want to come pick it up. But we wanted to do delivery our way. And so we haven't jumped all in. A lot of people talk about us using a third party. We do, but all that third party is doing is coming to get the food for you. We're still charging you as a consumer the exact same menu price that you get, whether you eat in the dining room, you come pick it up, or you have somebody else bring it to you. We're very transparent about what the delivery fee is and what it would cost you if you have somebody else to come get it. We're not on the marketplace. So if you want to get Olive Garden delivered, you can't go to Uber Eats and order Olive Garden. You can't go any other marketplace to do that. And we believe, because of our scale, we already have the marketing know-how and we already have the tech stack. That said, if a company like Uber or DoorDash or whomever gives us a solution that helps us be on the marketplace, but on our terms, we would say, why wouldn't we do that?
Yep. We do a report every year, America's favorite chains. And it's in January, using data from Technomic. This year, 4 of the top 10 were Darden brands. Yes. Last year, 5 of the top 10. 5
last year, yeah.
You'll get back there next year. I know you can do it. What is the secret to that?
Our job is to provide great experiences that are memorable for them. And we become a big part of their lives. You know, Ruth's Chris is generally, it was number 1 last year. Didn't hit number 1 this year, but it wasn't a full service restaurant.
It's in the top 5.
Number 1. It is in top, number 2.
Yeah.
But that's a place people go to celebrate. At Olive Garden, if you think about what Olive Garden does, it is Americana, right? When you've got one of the biggest pop singers ever singing a song, writing a song that has Olive Garden in it, we didn't do any of that. It just happened. People just love Olive Garden. My first date with my wife, I've been married to for almost 32 years, was at Olive Garden. And I've got great friends at their first dinner after getting married, they went right to Olive Garden.
Wow.
So I think there's some things that we do that just provide memories at all of our brands. And I think that's why people rank us up there as one of their favorites.
What is the Darden culture? How do you maintain it? How do you leverage it to hire and retain great talent?
We have 10 brands. Each brand has their own culture. At Darden, we have a culture, and our culture is being of service. It's a self-selecting culture. You can tell when someone comes that they want to be there and they want to help people and they want to make sure we're a yes culture. One of the biggest challenges are our team in the center. As I said, we've got some functions that operate that support all brands. Is they're very loath to say no, and that just stretches them even more. We've got to find out ways to say yes, and maybe we can do it this way. But that's the kind of culture we have.
Give me a glimpse at the next 3 to 5 years at Darden.
So we're going to focus a little bit more on top line growth. And so you should expect Darden's sales to be a little bit higher growth than they were before. That doesn't mean that we're going to double, that we're going to go from a 4%, 5% growth rate to a 10% growth rate. We're in a lower growth category. But we believe that we can grow a little bit faster. So we have a purpose at Darden to nourish and delight everyone we serve, to nourish our guests, our team members, and our communities. And we can nourish even more people if we're bigger. And that doesn't take a tremendous shift in growth. It means we've got to grow 7% a year for 10 years. We're ahead of that pace.